Welcome back. It's game day morning, so I did my AFC prognostication extravaganza last night. Just kind of ran into the buzzsaw of too many things to do in too few hours. It happens. Um, but here we are, the morning of opening night. We have we have KC and Houston tonight. Should be a pretty good game. Although I think KC's going to definitely take that one. So when I look at the NFC, and I want to correct one thing that I said last night, and that is that the AFC West would be the best division in football. I don't think that's actually the case. I think that'll be the best division in the AFC. The NFC West is what I think is going to be the best one. Sorry for my crass mistake. We'll start with the NFC East today. Jerry's World seems to have things going on. He took over the draft last year from his yacht. He had a pretty good draft. He's done some good things. Like to see Dak Prescott take the next step in the playoffs, but he's a really good regular season quarterback. And they've got Zeke Elliott still, so got a good squad. They got good linemen on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. So I think in a relatively weak division, I think the Cowboys get it done this year. The Eagles, if they can stay injury free, could keep it close. Could take it to the final weekend or two, and can definitely challenge for a wild card position. We'll see what happens. The difficult thing is the Giants versus the Redskins. And I am one of the largest, hugest, humongous even fans of Ron Rivera. And by the way, my prayers out to you with your fight against cancer. As if he's going to hear this. But I have to put the Skins in the cellar because I'm going to call them the Redskins because there's no other name. We're not going to call them TBDs or anything else that's cute. And quite frankly, they haven't made the Chiefs change their name yet. So when they give me a new name, I'll use it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Anyway, Ron Rivera, he's got a cancer diagnosis. He's handling all kinds of back office problems that a GM normally would be, or a team president, or an owner that doesn't suck. He's having to handle all that stuff. And he's got a quarterback who is underachieved because he was undercoached. Here's the problem. Thanks to COVID, they didn't get a chance to really work through the offseason protocols together. And he probably needed that as much as any other team because he's coming in and just really cleaning house and trying to get the best he can out of this kid at quarterback, Haskins, who I think can be an upper, an above average quarterback when all is said and done. I really do. The problem is he's been undercoached. And the environment around him has been toxic towards having more lackadaisical attitude. Ron Rivera's not going to put up with that. Redskins will rise from the ashes, but I think they are going to be in the cellar this year. I'm hoping for 6-10. I don't know if they're going to get there or not. I think sometimes you got to take speaking as a coach, why would I do that, right? Sometimes you got to take a step back to have a longer term success, and that's what I think he's going to do. So let's move to the NFC North. The Vikings got better. They still have a choke artist at quarterback named Kirk Cousins. However, they added a nice pass rusher from the dumpster fire that is. Oh, wait a minute, it's a grease fire because it's in the South. I forgot about my rule from last time. The Jets are a dumpster fire because they're in the North, and Jacksonville is a grease fire because they're in the South. Whew, almost screwed that up. Anyway, the grease fire in Jacksonville They got an excellent pass rusher, and that's going to make a big difference on a very, very stout Vikings defense. I think that's going to keep them. It's going to keep them up in this division. Packers still have Aaron Rodgers, or at least another year or 2 or 10. Jordan Love's not the answer. Good Lord, people, what are you doing? But they really have not enough weapons there. And with an increased pass rush, I think the Vikings are going to start to separate from the Packers a bit. I think they're going to be able to put up some points, the Packers, but I think they're going to have some problems. I might surprise you with who I think is going to be third. And it's mainly because the Bears have decided to put Mitch Trubisky as the starter. Excuse me? What are you people doing? I think what's happened is there's an awful lot of reefer being smoked in the city of Chicago right now. Because these people are just being stupid. Trubisky has no business being a starting quarterback in the NFL whatsoever. So I'm going to put the Bears last. A competitive last, but I'm going to put the Lions ahead because I think a full season of Matt Stafford, they're going to put some numbers up. And I got to tell you, Adrian Peterson signing, that is going to be a sneaky good signing. He is angry. And he is an angry runner. He's kind of like a poor man's version of Earl Campbell back in the day. He doesn't have the size, but he's got that anger level. And I think he's going to do some damage. And that gives Stafford some help. Opens up the play-action game. It does an awful lot of things. And they can put up points. Their defense is going to get a little bit better. Their secondary is improving. So I do think they could take the Bears and get out of the cellar. And that's not worth much, but it's better than being in the cellar. So when we move to so that's the north. Move to the south. The tough thing for me in the South is whether Tampa Bay, as they call it, good Lord, and versus the Saints to take the division, because Matt Ryan down in Atlanta, they're pretty close to a rebuild, in pretty soon. If they don't, they probably got one more run in them for a wild card berth if they're lucky, and they're going to have to do a lot of things right. But it's Brady versus Breeze. Here's how I really characterize it, because both of those teams are frighteningly even in my mind, except for one thing. But when Breeze came back from his injury after Bridgewater had done such a nice job for him, he's a great leader. He's a Hall of Famer, but his arm strength is diminished. There is no doubt about it. Brady's is not. The song sheet that the Saints can play from right now is more of a West Coast offense now, and maybe some slants, maybe some bubble screens and things of that nature. That's not Hall of Fame caliber. Breeze is having some trouble getting that ball on some of these sideline throws and the long balls. I mean, he can throw the long ball, but he doesn't have the velo anymore. He's having a hard time getting that sideline route done. So when you have to take part of your game plan out of your game, or worse yet, you don't take it out and you should have, that could be the difference between them and Tampa Bay. So I do think the Bucs take this division. I think both of them are going to have great years, both teams. I think Breeze, he may be out soon. Maybe another year. This could be the last year or one more. He's diminishing. Great career. So I don't mean to denigrate him in any way, but we're talking about separating cream from the top, at the top versus what else is left, right? This is what happens when you search for a metaphor and it just evaporates on you. Not a good look. Anyway, I would put the Falcons in as third. I still think that that Matt Ryan is still a good quarterback. They don't have enough, other than Julio Jones, who's phenomenal. They could use a better running game. They need a better pass rush on defense. They're just not there. If they can go on a nice run, Matt Ryan gets hot, and the Saints underperform where I'm thinking they'll be, they could surprise and sneak into second, but I just don't see it. I don't see it this year. The Panthers, you had Cam Newton. You released him for this much. Grease fire? Yeah. Now, Matt Rule is going to be a good coach. But I will go so far as to say that, there's a long list of really good college coaches that got to the NFL and went splat. So there's nothing guaranteed there. There is a lot on film that says he can run an offense very, very well. What I don't understand is what Cam Newton needed, why he needed to be out. But that's okay. Bridgewater's going to be good. I think they're going to score some points. And they really have one of the better, if not the best, overall running back. I mean, Saquon Barkley's going to have something to say about that as well. Dude almost doesn't even need a line. But McCaffrey is excellent. So we'll see. I think that's a tight division in two stages. I think your top two are close, and your bottom two are close. Okay, so there's something to be said for that. I think the Panthers could be an 8-8 or possibly a 7-9 team, and be in last place in that division. It doesn't make it a great division, but a good division. The great division is the NFC West, and I got to tell you, I'm nervous about my pick of the Seahawks. I think that they need to open up the playbook. They need to let Russell Wilson let him out and let him play. Stop managing the playbook as much as they are, and really roll the dice and let him do some stuff. He's money. And if the game's on the line in the fourth quarter, you better be up 2 scores, because he's coming. And you get the impression that their no lead is safe, right? It's like going in baseball. You're at Fenway Park when even when the Red Sox aren't good, it doesn't matter. Either team could just come back on the other, because no lead is safe. That's the feeling you get with the Seahawks. The Cardinals, I'm going to pick a second. That's probably going to be somewhat controversial. But I got to tell you, D-Hop, that's a really good receiving core they've got now. They're going to put up some points. I don't particularly like the scheme that they run. It is wide open, but I got to tell you, with the level of quarterback play that they have gotten so far, which has been surprising, the level of quality of receiving targets is very good. They're going to put up a lot of points, and their defense got a lot better in the second half last year. You look at the Niners coming in third, because I think the Niners they're on full Super Bowl letdown. And when you choke in the Super Bowl, they did, you typically have a tough year the next year. And I think the Niners are going to have some trouble. They're going to be a really good team. I still think they make the playoffs, but they're going to be much diminished versus last year. And then the Rams, they were a one-trick pony. They've been exposed. They need to adjust to the league. The league adjusted to them, and they haven't adjusted back. They still keep trying to run the same offense, and it's not working. And they really don't have the same line play. So they could be an 8-8 or a 9-7 team and come in last in the NFC West. They're that good over there. But, maybe they're an 8-8 team. I think the NFC West is probably the best division. AFC West is the second best division. Now, I'm not going to go any further with the picks as far as who's going to win the Super Bowl and all this other stuff in this particular video. What I may do, I may come up with a third one here where I kind of look at some of those. No, I'm not. Executive decision. I'll wait till closer to the playoff when the playoff rosters are set, because, and here's the reason. Number one, I'm a chicken. I'm afraid. No, number two, so much of this at that level is based on the matchups. So if you had the Vikings having to play the Cowboys, it would be a different game than if they have to play the Seahawks in the playoffs. And you match up better with certain teams. I think it's a better chicken, yes, but it's also more of an intelligent gambit to go about trying to figure out who's going to win when you know who the matchups are. I just think that's the way it's going to look. But if I had to just do just a first blush thing, I'm thinking you probably have Tampa Bay and the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game. I think you probably have the Ravens and the Titans in the AFC Championship game. And shake it 5 times, you got different answers. There's some really good teams out there. The cream is starting to rise to the top, which I love that. So hope you like this NFC game day show of for the lack of a better term. Hold me to them, but I'd like some conversation, and hold me to them. And it should be a fun NFL season, one that we really had no idea if it was going to show up at all. It's going to be weird, but it is 2020, and that's just the way we're rolling. So, like, share, comment, subscribe, jump up and down, tell me I'm stupid, or that I'm a genius. I like the genius comments personally. And until next time, peace out, me homies. See ya.